Hello, hello.
Hey Ray, what's going on, man? Can you hear me okay? Hey Ray, can you hear me over there? Hey Ray, can you hear me over there, brother?
I'm not hearing anything, so let me. Hello.
Hey Ray,
Okay.
how's it going?
Hey. We weird. This random setting was set. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I can hear now.
No worries, man. How's it going?
Things are great. Great, great, great.
Good man, good to hear. Are you out in Texas?
No, I spoke there this past weekend, but I actually live in Florida, so I'm back home.
Oh, okay, cool. So East Coast time, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm out in I'm living in Malaysia right now with Matt, so the 12-hour time difference sometimes kills me.
Yikes. How is Malaysia?
Pretty good. There's the entire city's like shut down today. There's the Grand Prix the next 3 days, like some like Formula F1 race thing through the city. So they like literally shut down all the roads and set up all these barricades.
Wow,
It's pretty insane.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's starting like right now. It's today's like the practice day.
Nice.
So cool, man. So do you want me to? Can you take away the screen sharing, or do I need to switch it over to you?
Um, yeah, you want me to show mine right now?
No, you don't have to do it right now. We can do it right when we
Oh,
get started. Uh,
yeah, sure.
all right, cool.
Whenever.
All right, cool. So I'll just kind of do the introduction. You emailed me, and then you're just gonna take it away.
Yep.
Cool. All right, man. How long does your presentation normally run?
Um, I mean, I'm usually finished with everything that I have is at like an hour,
Okay.
and then I just ask for, if there's Q&A and based on how big of an audience it is, how engaged they are, etc., I might go an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. If they're red hot, then I mean, I'll just keep going.
Okay, sounds good, man. Perfect. Yeah, we had almost 1,000 registered, so should see some decent.
Cool. Well, the neat thing about what you guys have going on is if they look up this product, I have it on my site for 497. So, that's probably going to encourage them to. I actually thought you guys were selling it for 497, but I saw you have it for 297, so I just kind of adapted. That's what we launched it at, but we actually sell it every day at 497. So you can either, you know, whatever, they'll definitely feel like they're getting a great deal.
Gotcha, definitely. Okay, cool. And did you got the short link I sent you, right?
Yes, it's on 50 slides. I got it on a bunch of slides.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, good. Sounds good.
Are you guys going to run this like an evergreen, or what were you planning on doing?
Usually I take the recording and then I'll put it up on a Mo page like this webinar is coming down in 7 days and put a buy now button
Gotcha.
and then just promote that on
Cool.
Facebook group, send out another email broadcast and then we can do another one, if I'm in a month if you want.
Yeah, man. I'm game.
Cool. Now, do you have an upsell that you usually do with your Mo marketplace leads or
Um, I mean, hell, am I even seeing the leads? I mean, I don't even know. Are you guys fulfilling the product or?
yeah, we fulfill it. I think
Yeah.
Tammy will work with you to fulfill it unless we have all the information. But then, yeah, you get all the, their names, numbers, phone numbers, emails, all that good stuff.
I don't think I've been getting that. That would be, definitely good to get because we do extra support stuff. Just to kind of like a bonus webinar here and there, just to keep them super happy. So we probably should be getting that, but I don't think we are.
Okay.
I mean, are you saying that's in my back office or?
I don't know if it's in the back office, but every time I usually do one of these webinars, they always get like a spreadsheet with the information
Okay.
buyers.
Okay. Cool.
So I'll double check on that for you after
All
the.
right. Thank you.
No problem, man. All right. So I'm gonna start it up right now, and then we'll get started at like 9:05.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys, how's it going? Steve Bransfield here. It's about 8:58 p.m. right now, East Coast time. We're gonna give it a couple extra minutes, waiting for a few extra people to get on. So probably around 9:03, 9:05, we're gonna get started here. So just hang tight. We're gonna get started in just a couple of minutes. Hey guys, if you can hear me good, just post a one in the chat box here. Okay, great. Getting lots of ones here. Hey guys, for those of you just joining us, we're going to be getting started in about 4 more minutes here. We're just giving people an extra few minutes to get on the webinar, so just hang tight. Tonight we have a very, very special guest, so just hold tight for a couple more minutes and we'll be getting started. If you want for now, just post your name and where you're from in the chat box. We got Joe from the UK, Anne Marie from Colorado, Tiffany from Malaysia. That's where I'm at right now. Philip from the UK, Candy from Singapore, Don from Brisbane. Great, guys. Thanks for joining us on the call tonight. Really looking forward to what kind of content we have in store for you guys. So like I said, we're going to be getting started just around 9:05, so 3 more minutes. So for those of you just joining us, just hang tight for a couple more minutes. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So, guys, like I said before, thank you so much for getting on this webinar with us tonight. Once again, my name is Stephen Bransfield, and I work in the Moog corporate offices with Matt Lloyd. And tonight we have a very great webinar in store for you guys. The person we have on this webinar tonight, this is one of the highest registered for webinar. We had over 1,000 people registered for this webinar, and I think that's because of the person we have on tonight. Most of you guys know who he is. His name is Ray Higdon. He's an industry expert, and he's here tonight to talk to you about how you can really leverage yourself in the marketplace and position yourself in the marketplace to generate more leads. So for those of you who don't know who Ray is, Ray is a two-time best-selling author who has helped thousands and thousands of people make more money pursuing their passion. He's shared the stage with legends like Brendan Burchard, Gary Vaynerchuk, Les Brown, Eric Worre, and many more. So we are so excited to have him on this webinar with us tonight. Ray actually went from a personal foreclosure to a multi-million-dollar a year business. And tonight he is going to show you exactly how he did it and how you can too. So pay attention to this guy tonight. Your life literally might change. Ray, are you out there? Hey, Ray, do you have your mic muted, brother?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that amazing introduction, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Looking forward to the webinar.
Yeah, so I see so many people from all over. I see Texas, Virginia, Washington, UK. It's got to be getting a little late there. Mississippi, Singapore, New Mexico, Georgia, Maryland, Arizona, Richmond, Switzerland. Awesome. Queensland, California. So cool. So I'm honored to be here. So excited to have you guys on. And I believe that you can now see my screen. We weren't showing a screen just a minute ago. There's San from Sydney. Awesome. So yeah, you should be seeing my screen. So right now, I am going to dive right in. I'm going to dive right in and share with you the 5 steps to becoming an authority and how to get leads and people chasing you. So you know you're in the right place if you're here to learn how to become an authority, learn how to get people reaching out to you, learn how to build your business in a probably a little bit easier way, and rock this thing out. So we have quite a few hundred people on here. I have one saying she can't see the screen. Please type a 1 if you can see the screen that says 5 steps to becoming an authority. I just need okay, so we have a couple hundred people that just typed in 1. Awesome. Let's rock and roll. All right, so some quick questions. Number 1, how would you feel if every single day you woke up to people actually reaching out to you? How would that feel? Well, let me ask you this before you answer that. What if they actually looked up to and respected you? What about that? And I'll tell you, the reason I ask these questions is I really want to help you start to take the next steps to move toward this kind of way of being, because I remember the days when I was calling people and they're like, who is this again? Would you say your name was Roy? And now when we reach out to people, if they're a lead, of course, when we reach out to these leads that are reaching out to us, they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for calling. It's such a different world, and I want you to understand that it's possible. So if you're not used to, accustomed to, if you're not experienced with having people look forward to talking to you and they actually want to work with you and they look up to you, trust me, there's actually possible. That is absolutely possible, and I'm going to share with you how to do that here today. So I think that you would agree that there would be worth a whole lot if you were able to get people that wanted to work with you and wanted to buy things from you and maybe become clients or teammates or prospects at least, and we're going to show you how to do that. So I want you to understand, a lot of times you're hearing from someone who's been super successful for the last 27 years, right? And the problem with that is sometimes they can become disconnected. Sometimes someone's been successful for so long they don't remember what struggle ever felt like. Well, that's not me. If you're struggling, I understand. You see, just a few short years ago, I'm not saying a decade ago, I'm not saying 8, 9 years ago, a few short years ago, I had gone through a divorce. I'd lost everything when the Florida real estate market changed, and I was in personal foreclosure. Okay, life was not fantastic. I really, and this may be true more of guys than women necessarily, but a lot of times us guys, we kind of associate our self-worth with our net worth, right? And to top it all off, back then my girlfriend at the time was actually paying my utility bills, right? So that's not a real manly thing to admit, but she was, and very, very, very fortunate for me. She's now my beautiful wife, Jessica, who is pregnant with our baby girl, who's due here in a couple months. So that's pretty cool. And I'll tell you, success back then, it seemed a million miles away. You ever feel like that? You ever feel like you want to believe, you want to know that things can happen, but it just seems like success is like a million miles away. It's like you're in Connecticut and success is somewhere over in Malaysia, right? You ever feel like that, or is it just me? Am I the only one that's ever felt that way? I'm just curious. Let's see. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm the only person. I don't know. Okay, Michael. All right. Thank you for being honest. All right, Donna, David, guys, this is interactive, okay? You know, this isn't a recording here. You know, I'm interacting with you. I'm actually asking you some questions. So, all right, cool. So awesome. But now life is a little different. You know, we've been able to turn our lives around, and things are a little different. You know, I was able to marry that girlfriend of mine that was working at the Nordstrom makeup counter, paying my utility bills, and there she is, Jessica, just the apple of my eye, the cream in my pie. She's just amazing. She's absolutely awesome. There's us this year at the Kentucky Derby. For those of you international, the Kentucky Derby is kind of a big horse race deal here in the United States. There's us at the Super Bowl a few years ago. There's us actually this year for Valentine's Day. Was able to actually rent that yacht, believe it or not, a 70-foot yacht, and we stayed on that for a couple nights, had our own chef, had our own captain, and you know, it was just amazing. And you know, that thing opens up, and there's a jet ski in there. There's 2 jet skis in there actually, and it's just really, really cool. It's just a cool place. Last year we actually went on a cruise to Alaska. There's us. That's actually my wife standing on a 900 feet thick glacier. It's actually been around for, you know, probably tens of thousands of years, and just really, really cool experience. Took my boys and my wife over to Kauai. That's over in Hawaii. That's the very, very lush island. Personally, it's my favorite island. I like Maui. Maui's cool, but I prefer Kauai. Pretty cool place. There's us in Maui actually last year. Went on a little vacation there, had some fun, and I can tell you in the last 2 years, a lot of wild things have happened. You know, we had our first $1 million year, then we had our first $2 million year the year after, and this year we actually had our first, believe it or not, it's just crazy to say, it really is, we had our first $1 million month. So, you know, it's just amazing. I pinch myself, I'm humbled, I'm grateful, you know, because I can tell you that life didn't used to be this way. And, you know, I'm gonna share something with you that, you know, some might see as a little intimate, but, you know, if I needed to see things like this when I was struggling, because it gave me hope. Okay, I want you to understand that you can do this, but this kind of stuff, you know, it really gave me hope. So back in 2009, guys, personal foreclosure, I made around $19,000. Okay, not impressive. I'm positive that some of you make more than that. All right, you know, some of you, heck, you might make, you know, 2 or 3 times that, right? Well, in 2009, life was tough. I was in personal foreclosure, made around $19,000. I started doing things in a certain way the next year, and this is, I mean, just a great. I mean, we could have ended it here, and it would have been a great story. But in 2010, over $300,000. Now, I can tell you that was not overnight. I'm showing you by year. Okay, it wasn't overnight. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but we did things in a certain way and was able to just have an amazing year in 2010. It was really incredible from where we came from. And since then, every single year, we've had a better year than the last. Every single year. And this year, it's just crazy. We've already surpassed last year. And we had a great year last year. We already surpassed it. Now, this is all hunky-dory, right? What the hell does it have to do with you is maybe what you're wondering. What I'm showing you is that there's a baseline. I've been able to, not only for myself, but also teach my students how to progressively get better and better and better. And in fact, here's the crazy part. In 2015, we worked less than 2013, than 2012, than 2011, okay? The way that I'm going to show you how to do business in this presentation right here, I'm going to show you how it actually can get easier. I really am, and I'm going to, you know, call me to task on that. I really want you to write that down in your notes. Ray is going to show me how to do it easier. I'm going to show you how to do that. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm not saying that. Never did. And I know a lot of people that are going dead broke trying to get rich quick. This isn't get rich quick, but I'm going to show you a system, a way that I've done things that has totally changed our lives, totally changed our business and our bank account, and it can yours too if you choose. Okay, so I want you. Here's mind blown number 1. I got a couple things in here that are going to literally blow your mind, and here we go. We're only a few minutes into the presentation. We're already getting into it. All right, you can position yourself as an authority before you have major results. That's mind blown number 1. Okay. Uh, I'm telling you now, some of you are like, well, wait a minute, Ray, hold on here. I got to have an impressive resume. I got to have impressive results. I got to be a top earner. I got to be a six-figure earner at least, don't I? You don't. You do not. Now, I'm not saying not to pursue those things. You certainly pursue those things. I'm not saying that. But let me go back, you can position yourself as an actual authority before you have major results. And the reason I can tell you this today is because I did. When I first started doing what I'm sharing with you here tonight, I was dead broke in personal foreclosure. I didn't have success to talk about. That's when I started doing what I'm going to share with you here tonight. So know that wherever you are, I don't care if you can barely operate your microwave to pop popcorn. I don't care if you've never had a sale in your entire life. I don't care if you've ever received a check from anybody, right? I imagine sometime in your life you've received a check, but I'm saying, in your home business or affiliate marketing or Move or whatever else, I don't care about any of those things, because you can, starting tonight, you can start to do the things that I'm going to share with you here today, and you truly, truly can get the kind of results that I'm going to talk to you about here tonight. So this presentation, you're going to learn the 5 exact steps to take to position yourself as an expert. Does not require mega results, and honestly, any results. It really doesn't, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. Now, there is one component that's needed, but I guarantee you, just the fact that you're on here tonight, you already have it. You already have it, and you'll see what I mean. And it can be accomplished part-time. Now, I'm going to assume that some of you are working 2 jobs. I'm going to assume that some of you have 3 kids running around. I'm going to assume that no one on here has more than a couple hours a day. Okay, I'm going to make that assumption. Now, if you do, good for you. Pat yourself on the back. Way to go. But I'm going to assume that you have to create success part-time. And if I can teach you part-time, then all of you full-timers are just going to be happy as can be, right? So just curious, just by these little tips here, anyone fired up yet? Anyone excited at all? Anyone? Is it okay? All right, you guys are with me. Cool, great. All right, so does it really work? Well, I'm the type of guy that I believe documentation beats conversation. So I don't want to teach you something that I read in a book, or a professor whispered in my ear on the campus steps, or I went to the library and borrowed a few documentaries on whatever, right? I want to show you that the things that I have been doing, okay, positioning myself as an authority since 2009, late 2009, and it really got started 2010. But I've been doing that for year after year after year after year, and we've been doing it. And not only do I feel great, not only do I have notoriety and those kind of things that most people want, but I also make money. And so what I did was I actually took screenshots and I picked average ordinary days of our flagship blog, our flagship website, which is one of your main weapons in becoming an authority, is having your own place that you can produce content. And for some people, that's maybe a video site. For some, it's a blog. I prefer a blog, right? So from our flagship site, these are average ordinary days. These are not launch days. These are not like I pulled the greatest days. These are average ordinary days. But if you take a look, these are all in the last few months. May 2nd, $4,500. May 1st, $4,800. April 30th, $6,300. April 25th, $3,400. April 24th, $9,300. April 22nd, $4,700. April 21st, $5,900. April 19th, $4,700. Now, are you going to have those kind of days tomorrow? You're not. Okay, unless you're already really rocking and rolling, and just implementing a couple tips are going to make it happen for you. But it's not going to happen overnight. It wouldn't be okay for me to say that you're going to have a $4,700 day next week. I can't say that, but I'm going to show you a way that if you just apply a little bit each day, you can build toward these kind of days, and it works day in, day out. I've done it with client after client after client after client. I've done it with people in companies in Nigeria. I've done it with people in companies in Canada, people in Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, UK, Serbia, Poland. I mean, you name it. Okay, you name it. We've shown people exactly how to generate real money from their actual website, and I'm going to show you that here tonight. So, a word of warning, though. A word of warning. And I just, this is kind of the elephant in the room kind of thing. The reality is, most content creators, most people that are online marketers, most people that are bloggers, they barely make any money. In fact, according to a recent study of bloggers at least, 81% of bloggers never even make $100 from their blog. And I'm not talking $100 a day. I'm talking $100 lifetime earnings. Okay, not real impressive. That isn't going to change anyone's life. That's not, you're not raking it in. All right, if you're making less than $100, and don't worry, if you're on here and you're making less than $100, it's not that big a deal. We can get you into profits, much higher profits, very, very quickly, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first step, and this is where if you haven't taken notes already, you definitely want to start taking notes, because I'm going to give you the 5 steps, and these 5 steps, if followed, you will start producing more money. You will start attracting more people to you. So I would highly encourage you to pay attention. The biggest step, guys, it really is this first step. So this is where you really want to pay attention, all right? So the very first step to become an authority is to have a vision. Have a vision. It's so important. Now, some of you are like, oh no, is he going to be fluffy duffy? Is he just going to talk, airy fairy? Oh man, I thought I was going to. Hey, I'm going to give you some step-by-step things to actually do. But you know what would be a waste of time? It would be a waste of time for me to give you step-by-step instructions if you don't have a vision. Do you know why? Every trainer you've ever ran into, guess what they did to you? They did you a disservice. They told you step by step, here's what you do. You do this step, and then you press this button, and then you say this script, and then you say this. And you're like, woo-wee, that's amazing. That's awesome. I can't wait to do it. And you drive home, or you get off that webinar, and maybe you have a sandwich, and after that sandwich, you're like, oh man, it's a little late, but I'm going to hit it tomorrow. You wake up in the morning, and you don't do it. You don't do it. Why? Why don't you do it? How come you've been learning things your whole life, step by step, how to do things, how to get traffic, how to get leads, how to make money? How come you've learned those things, but most people don't do them? It's because they don't have a vision. You see, any trainer that teaches you anything for the rest of your life that doesn't touch on vision is wasting your time. So you gotta pay close attention here. You gotta have a vision. Who do you want to become? How do you want to be known? You actually need to stop focusing on the money that you need and instead focus on who you want to become. What's neat about that is almost in every situation, when you focus on who you want to become, the money follows. The money follows. You see, I had a dream. I had a dream of becoming someone that on a daily basis, before my head hits the pillow, that someone thanks me for making an impact on them. And you know what? That was years ago when I was dead broke. That is now real. There is not a day goes by that someone doesn't post on my Facebook, that someone doesn't email me, that doesn't tag me in some video thanking me for helping them out. I want you to have that kind of feeling. I want you to have people thanking you. I don't want you to be just a consumer. I don't want you to be a good student, right? I mean, be a good student, but let's not stop there. Let's get you to become something of significance that makes an impact, that makes a difference. And when you tap into that, you'll rush out of bed. You'll love that daily routine. You'll crush it. You'll go out there. You'll create that content. You'll do the things that will attract to you the best type of people. I'm telling you, it'll happen. Now, this first step, you have to see yourself in a better situation than you're currently in. Now, most people, they don't. They actually see themselves in a worse situation. Well, what if I go on this webinar and, I don't understand it? Or what if my speakers don't work? Or what if I go to this event and the food isn't good, right? They project in their life, they conjure up things to be disdainful for, things to not like, things they don't want in their life. But they're constantly conjuring up these new things that are not great. You have to see yourself in a better situation. Now, there's a lot of phrases that people use, and I'm gonna help you out here. Now, some of these, they're going to be touchy because you're going to notice some of these phrases. If you are on here and you don't have the kind of results that you would love to have in your life, I'm willing to bet here, okay, I'm willing to bet that some of these phrases might tickle you in the wrong place. because you might find yourself, hey, wait a minute, I've said that before. Well, here it is. These are called non-serving statements. Now, why do I have a picture of a courtroom? Because that's how most people argue for non-success. Your Honor, here's why I can't be rich. Your Honor, here's why I can't succeed. Okay? People argue for their non-success. And guess what? If you go to court and you argue that you're guilty, okay, your wish is granted. They're not going to say, no, sir. No, you're not. Stop it. You're not guilty. Come on, buddy. No. If you argue for your non-success, they're going to say, all right, already. We get it. You can't be successful. Okay? So don't use these statements. I don't know what to do. Now, this is a phrase that in preschool, kindergarten, grade school, middle school, maybe even high school, the neat thing about I don't know what to do is it got you attention, right? The teacher rushed over and said, oh, little Susie, let me help you out with what to do. Do you know who doesn't say this very often? True entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur might say, you know what? I don't know what to do, but I'm going to either A, figure it out, B, hire someone that does know what they're doing and teach me how to do it, right? They don't just sit there in a spinning dervish, right? Just spinning around like a top saying, I don't know what to do. True entrepreneurs don't say that, at least for very long. So be careful how often you say this. Now, some of you, I'm willing to bet, and I don't hold it against you. You don't have to admit it, but I'm sure some of you by now have said, easy for him to say. Well, he wasn't born where I was born. He didn't have my dad. Well, it's true. It's true that you may be on here and maybe you had more struggles, but I'm willing to bet that I've had a few. You know, I grew up in an abused child, okay? I remember when, my stepmom would throw me against the closet, and, I won't get into too many details because it's not that kind of webinar, right? I remember being dead broke twice in my life. I remember being terrified of public speaking, where I didn't sleep, okay? I remember being passed over for jobs. I remember not graduating high school on time. I remember never finishing college, okay? I remember all these things. But you may be on here, and maybe you have much, much tougher story, okay? You may just trump me, just totally crush me with my story's way worse, okay? Well, here's what you want to be aware of. When you utter the words of the weak, easy for him to say, easy for her to say, what you're saying is they possess something I don't. And that, my friend, is baloney. You can become anything you want to become from wherever you are. You can succeed despite your circumstances. There's a certain woman that had arguably one of the worst childhoods on the planet, incest, beating, rape, and she's now a billionaire. That's Oprah Winfrey, okay? So these kind of statements are great. They're easy to say, right? And the commoners say it. It's easy to say until you notice that someone that had it rougher than you created bigger success. So don't say it. All it's doing is saying, I'm playing small. I'm going to stay in my tiny, eeny-weeny widow box. That's what you're saying when you say easy for him, easy for her. Or if I. Now, some people, they live in the past. Well, if only I would have taken that one job, or if only I would have, bumped into Matt Lloyd when I was a teenager, right? If I. So that indicates that you're just helpless. You're helpless to your fate. You're helpless to your destiny because of something you did 10 years ago. That's also baloney, okay? It's baloney. It isn't working. Now, I know a lot of people that they're so addicted to fast success that they doubt the process, all right? When I first started marketing online, it wasn't overnight. But boy, does quitting not speed things up. Quitting will never speed any result up for you. So you might have something, you might be on a path that would have worked, but it will certainly stop possibly working if you stop, if you quit. So you got to be careful with this one. I don't have the money. This is once upon a time, we had the capacity to make money, right? Guess what? We still have that capacity. You know that I'm assuming that most of you on here have electricity currently, right? And for those that don't, I'm not sure how you got on this webinar, but congrats, very, very genius of you, MacGyver of you, right? But I'm going to assume you have electricity. Well, guess what? The power company doesn't have power. They make it. They make power, and they zip it over to you. I don't know how it works, but I know that they make it. They make it. They don't possess it. So you don't have to have money, but if you carry around this energy of I don't have the money, you're going to keep running into that same scenario all the time. You literally can never utter the words, I don't have the money. You really don't want to go there, because what's that saying is, I don't have. It's not good, okay? Now, I'm not saying you got to lie. I'm not saying, oh, I got $1 million in the bank, right? You don't have to say that, okay? But you don't have to tackle yourself on the way to the goal line. So instead of saying things like, I don't have the money, say things like, I'm so grateful that the money is on the way. Say things like that. I'm so grateful that my life is getting better and better. See, serving statements, things that will help you, okay? You want to play to win, not to prevent a loss. You got to see yourself as better than you currently are. You have to see your situation getting better, or it never will. If you've been where you are for an extended period of time, there is something you're holding on to. And it's kind of like, you're in the car, you got your mirrors adjusted, but there's still a blind spot, isn't there? There's still a blind spot. So let me point a couple out to you. Maybe it's you think that because of where you grew up, you can't have success. Maybe you think it's a medical condition. Now, this is a big one. This is a big one. It's a touchy one. It's a big one, okay? I know people that, they say, well, you know what? I mean, ever since I, contracted this disease, or I got this, or I got that, and you don't understand. And you know what? The world around you will say, oh, honey child, it's okay. Of course you can't have success. You have this. Of course you can't have success. You have this. Until you run into somebody in worse shape that is going out there and creating big success despite. If you have blood running through your veins right now, which I assume you do, you can create success. And what is success? What are we even talking about here? To me, success is two things: growth and contribution. You are growing yourself in some way, shape, or fashion, and you're contributing. Now, I don't mean necessarily donating to a charity. It could be, right? That's, great, good for you, right? But maybe it's contributing to society. Maybe it's contributing to your community. Maybe it's contributing your time and your intelligence to your family, okay? That's all contributions. But I don't believe someone is successful unless they're growing and contributing in some way, shape, or fashion. There's no right or wrong there, okay? But growing and contributing, that's what I call success. Maybe you had a bad childhood, and then you just heard my story. Now, I'm sure some of you had worse childhoods. I get it. We don't want to play a comparison story on who's got it the worst. Let's focus on where we're going instead. Maybe it's lack of education. Maybe you think that, oh man, if only if I'd finish up and got my GED, then I'd be okay. Nah. Hatred toward the wealthy. Now, this is a big gotcha. If you have a problem with people who are making a lot of money, with people who are wealthy, with people, any kind of energy like that, here's the only guarantee that I'll give you. If you hate people that are rich, if you hate people that are wealthy, if you hate people that are doing well, my guarantee is you'll never become one of them. Because you cannot, your ego will not allow you to become that which you despise. You can never become that which you despise. So if you hate people who make a lot of money, well, okay, your prerogative, you just will never be one, okay? Because you cannot, your body will not allow you to make the right steps to become rich because you don't want to hate yourself, okay? Now that's pretty deep. That might be mind blown number 2 or number 3 right there, okay? When someone close to you leans in and says, hey, you've been buying these courses for a long time. You've been, going to these events, and you've been reading books. How come you're not successful? What do you say to them? When you look around the corner and you kind of look to see if anyone's listening, well, here's the reality. Here's why. See, that is the reason that's keeping you where you are. Whatever that is, and I think you know what it is, okay? Whatever that is. But you can get rid of all that junk because none of it's true. Goals aren't enough. They aren't enough to keep you going. They aren't enough to get you past the tough days. They have to be coupled with a vision of who you want to become. They have to, 100% of the time. You listen to any interview of any athlete at any level, an Olympian, MMA fighter, Super Bowl champion, an MVP. Listen to any of them, okay? They saw their success before it happened. They saw the scenario. They literally had a vision. Without vision, the people perish. Without vision, your goals perish. Without vision, you won't be consistent. Are you struggling with consistency? Do you know it's not because you don't understand a daily routine. You know what you should be doing each day. It's just you're not doing it because your vision isn't pulling you to. Guys, that was just step number one. That was just step number one. There's 5 steps. Number 2, immerse yourself. In the last 2 years, my wife and I, we've invested over $250,000 in just coaching and masterminds. That's what we've done. And I'm sure some of you on here, actually, I don't know if any of you on here have invested more than that, but we invest a lot of money. Why? Why do we do that? I mean, doesn't it get to the point where how much is enough, Ray? See, that's how most people think. How much is enough, Ray? Isn't $1 million a month? Isn't that enough, Ray? See, that's how most people think because they don't equate money to impact. Do you realize in my profession as a professional trainer, as a professional speaker, do you realize that the more money I make, it actually equals that I'm impacting more people? If I make less money, then it means I actually got myself in front of fewer people. So do I want to help a lot or do I want to help a few? I want to help a lot of people? Do I feel like there's a crisis on this planet right now? There's a financial crisis. There's a spiritual crisis. There's a mindset crisis. There's crises all over this planet right now. Do I want to do something about it? Or do I want to just sit and be okay with, I made enough. I don't need to impact more people. I've impacted a few. We're good to go. No. I want to impact more people. I want you to impact more people. See, that's the multidimensional factor of my teaching, is we teach people not just how to be great. We teach them how to go out there and help other people be great. That's what we do. That's one of our core skills. Okay, so we buy a lot of courses, we attend a lot of seminars, all to better serve, understand, and bring value to our audience. That's why we invest so much, so that we can raise our value, and then we share what we learn with our audience, with our clients, with our students, with our leads, right? That's what we do. Number three, I hope you're still taking notes. Number 3, create content with authority. Okay, create content. Do you want to know the fastest way to become an authority? Anyone want to know that? Just curious. Anyone want to know? Well, let me throw out some options. Is it A, get your MBA? Well, if you go get your master's in business, that will certainly help you to become an authority. I'm not going to lie, okay? That'd be impressive. At some point in my life, I hope to go back to college. I won't need to, okay? We no longer will need to go to any college, but I would like to. I would like to just for the experience to kind of, tack it up on my wall. I think it'd make me feel pretty cool, okay? Is an MBA the fastest way to become an authority? Not only is it not the fastest way, but the unfortunate part is I know a lot of broke MBAs, okay? I don't like saying that, but it's true. I know people that have multiple degrees that are barely living above, they're certainly not rich. They're certainly not free, They don't have any residual income, but they sure got a couple $100,000 in college debt. All right. So getting your MBA, not the fastest. Is it go get a bunch of results? Become a six-figure earner. That's it, right? Well, become a six-figure earner, seven-figure earner, whatever you want to become. Becoming a top earner will certainly help you to become an authority. In fact, it's pretty easy. If you're a big earner, it's fairly easy to be regarded as an authority. Is it the fastest way? It is not the fastest way. You know, it wouldn't be okay for me to say that you guys are all going to have major success next month. I don't know, okay? Some of you are starting and you're 100 yards away from the goal line. Some of you are starting on the 1 yard line, okay? Some of you are very close to success. You're literally inches from massive growth and momentum. Some of you got some works to do, right? That's okay. The fastest way to become an authority that every person on this webinar can do tonight, teach. Teach. Now, back in the day, you know, in the 80s and before that, you would have to put on seminars. You would have to go rent a hotel room and put on big seminars, and you would hope to get people in there. Now, what do we got? We got YouTube. We got Facebook. We have the amazing internet. Teach. Now I'm going to give you some very, very detailed instructions on this step here, okay, and in the next step as well. So pay close attention. I'm going to come back to that. To teach, you must first learn. So you invest in your education knowing that it's creating your platform of value, and in my opinion, blogging is the best way. Why do I say that? Well, I know a lot of people that they make money through sending emails, right? So they do like solo ads and they do emails, okay? Well, let me ask you this question. When's the last time you opened up a 12-month-old email and bought something? Or heck, when's the last time you opened a 2-month-old email and bought something? When have you opened up a week-old email and bought something? Okay, it doesn't happen. But we get leads and sales from blog posts that we made 6 years ago. See, now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to get it. I told you toward the very beginning, I said I'm going to teach you a way that if done over time, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Well, if you are putting a blog post out there, and we will show you exactly how to do it. I don't care if you don't know how to, change the time on your DVD player. I don't care if you know how to, do a, even open an app on your phone. Okay, it doesn't matter. You don't need technical skill for this. Okay, but I'm going to show you a way that if you do it over and over a period of time, it actually gets easier. It really does. Okay, let's move forward. So, does this make sense so far? All right, we haven't gotten to the nitty-gritty yet, but does it make sense so far? All right, so Barbara says yes. Jennifer, Michelle, Joe, Anessa, Peter, great, awesome, great participation, guys. So number 4, build and serve your audience. So who is the person that speaks but no one listens? Well, certainly not a leader, certainly not an authority. You need to build and serve your audience. This is a phrase I hope you write down. I really do. You need to learn to go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Now, so many of us as entrepreneurs, we start this journey, and what do? The very first thing we do is we seek acceptance and approval. But guess what? We don't get it. People are like, why are you doing that? Why are you going to another event? Why are you not going to the party because you have a webinar? That sounds really stupid. Anyone ever hear that? I sure have. Anyone ever say, well, how many of those seminars do you have to go to? Anyone ever hear that? Well, how many times do you have to go to the gym? Did you just go one time, do some squats, some cleans, some bench press, and you were good to go? Or did you keep going back and back and back? Well, how many times did you have to go, to biology or geometry or history, right? Did you have to go back and back to that class, or you just go one time? If you want to become good at something, you have to repeat your education. But go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. I got a little off topic there, okay? The problem here is you can never explain why you want to be an entrepreneur to someone who is committed to not ever being an entrepreneur. It'd be like me going to my sweet Maltese dog named Baxter, okay? And he's 8 pounds of pure fury, right? I mean, he's when someone comes to my door, I mean, it's like he puts on a pit bull, costume or something. He thinks he's 130 pounds of sheer muscle, and he's right. He's ready to tear them a new one, although he couldn't do any damage. He's 8 pounds. It'd be like me going to Baxter and saying, Baxter, here's what an octopus is. He's got 8 legs. He lives in the ocean. Okay. Not only does Baxter not speak English, but he has no idea what the ocean is, has no concept of tentacles. Okay. But here you are trying to explain yourself to someone who's not an entrepreneur. Stop doing it. Instead, you start to build your own little audience, your own group of people that do get you, that do agree with your path, that agree with your journey. And they look at you and they say, yeah, this person's on a path. I'm on a path. Okay? That's what you need to do, and stop trying to convince your warm market. Stop it. Now, I never said don't reach out to your warm market, don't prospect them or whatever you got going on, because I'm sure some of you are in multiple deals and whatever else. I never said don't talk to them. I said don't convince them. Stop trying to convince them of your path, because they're committed to not understanding it. So stop convincing them. Okay? You must, for this reason right here, you must learn to generate leads daily. And then you serve those leads with solutions to their problems. Now there's a word that my audience uses to describe me. Okay, there's actually a few. Okay, one of them, value. Well, what the heck's value? That word's kind of bandied around a lot. What is value? Value is solving problems. That's it. So if you are a scuba diver and you want to be the guru of scuba diving, well, what kind of problems do scuba divers have? Well, maybe breathing exercises, maybe locations of cool reefs, maybe what time of year to go to these cool reefs, maybe where to rent equipment, maybe equipment reviews. Okay, could I be a blogger on scuba diving and crush it? I absolutely could. And I've scuba dove one time in Fiji. Okay, I've never scuba dived again, or dove, or whatever you call it. Okay, serve your leads with solutions to their problems. Whether you're serving network marketers, whether you're serving affiliate marketers, whether you're serving teachers, whether you're serving soccer, coaches, whatever, doesn't matter. You serve those leads with solutions to their problems. Then you engage them, and we actually teach this. We have a course that teaches this, but I want you to understand, most of my best clients were actually attracted to me. They came to me. I didn't go out there and beat the bushes or buy leads or anything like that. They came to me. My formula, and this is definitely, you want to write this down for sure, it's called ILT. Invest, learn, teach. You invest your time, possibly money, to learn something, then you teach what you learn. Now here's what's neat. 100% of you are already doing 2 of the 3 steps. You invested your time on here. You could be watching Dances with the Stars, or you could be watching, some celebrity nonsense show, right? But instead, you invested your time to come hang out with us. You invested your time to be on here, and you are learning things. Now, some of you, you've learned a bunch of concepts. I'm just curious, how many of you have taken some notes? At least some. I'm not saying 10 pages, but how have some of you taken some? All right, so Alicia has, Ashley, Julia, lots and lots of people. Tons. Okay, awesome. Screenshots. 5 pages, says Todd. Impressive. Okay, so some of you, I'm sure, 4 pages, says Darren. So I'm sure some of you have taken more notes than others. Some of you are like, man, this is good stuff. I learned a couple things so far. Well, we're not done yet. Okay, but here's the deal. The difference between me and most people is I do that 3rd step, and that is teach. and we actually show you how to do this. And I'll bring this back up, toward the end here, but let me just simplify it for you. Here it is. The notes that you have in your hands right now, and I think most of you have at least a paragraph, right, or maybe 2 or 3 bullets, or some of you have 5, 6 pages. Okay, the notes that you have, that you possess in your hands, are uncashed checks. Now, how do you act around uncashed checks? So, I can tell you, I went to, actually spoke in Austin, Texas this past weekend. 400 entrepreneurs. It was great. It was a great crowd. They loved it. They cheered. They yayed. We had a blast, right? And I challenged them, and they took action, and many of them are rocking and rolling, right? And I came home. I checked my mailbox. There were 4 checks in there. 4 checks from different, affiliate things and, coaching clients and things like that. 4 checks, okay? What did I do? Did I come into my office and throw them in the corner and let them stack up with all the other checks that I've never cashed? Or did I go down to the bank and cash them? See, it's a stupid question, right? It's dumb. It's dumb. Nobody, at least that I know, nobody that I'm aware of just throws their uncashed checks on a corner somewhere in their office and never goes back to them and does anything with them, right? No one I know. Yet people do that with their notes every single night. You see, if you want to cash the checks that are in your hand right now, literally, I want you to literally see numbers. Some of you, you've written $1,000 worth of checks already. Some of you, maybe even more. You take those notes and you convert them to online content with calls to action to have people reach out to you. Now, if you have a capture page, you may be saying things like, hey guys, I was on this webinar the other night and I learned this, 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 and this. If you like these kind of tips, feel free to visit my page at yada-yada-yada.com, enter your name and email, and you'll get another free training. Boom. That easy. That easy. Oh, I'm telling you. This is what we've done to build a multi-million-dollar business. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. And then from there, you monetize. You monetize it. Why? And this will be a big learning lesson. Now, I got to take you on a journey here because some of you are so far from thinking like this that I got to take my time. I got to kind of go into the surgery room. I got to, do a mini frontal lobotomy on you because you're so far from thinking in the way of what it takes to make a lot of money. And I want you to make a lot of money. It's not all about the money, but you know what? Neither is poverty. Staying broke doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help your local restaurant. It doesn't help your church. It doesn't help your charity. It doesn't help your kids. It doesn't help your parents. This year we took both of my wife and I, we took both of our moms to Vegas. My wife actually took her father for his 74th birthday to the Masters. Now, for those that don't know, there is no sporting event on this planet Earth that is harder to get tickets to or more exclusive than the Masters. None. None. Super Bowl, piece of cake. Super Bowl, easy breezy. Okay? World Series, give me a break. We can get there easily. Masters, toughest sporting event to get into, to get tickets for, and it isn't cheap. She took her dad there. Okay? You making more money is just going to allow you to play bigger in the world, and that's what I want for you. So you got to learn to monetize, but there's a catch. There's a mind hack that you have to get. Oh, please hear me. I'm begging. If you've been, if you've been playing your Nintendo Wii this whole time, please pay attention to what I'm about to say. Okay, if you get this part right here, you got hope to change your life. Totally, irrevocably. People value the things that they pay for. You got to get that. The clients that have paid us the most amount of money, and we have $50,000 masterminds that are sold out every year, okay? They thank us. They thank us. I've had clients tell me, thank you so much for charging such high rates. Now, isn't that weird to hear? If you had told me that when I was dead broke, I'd be like, you're crazy. No one's ever going to thank me for charging them more money. It forces them to think differently and value the content more. You have to learn that. That is a mindset hack that you got to learn if you're going to make big money. So we actually share with you. I have a course I'll share with you before we get to the Q&A. I have a course I'll share with you. Then we'll get to the Q&A, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. But I want you to understand this one thing. You can have high profits and a happy audience. High profits and a happy audience. Let me show you what I mean. Here's my buddy Vince Reed. Now, I know for a fact he's actually spoken at several MOBA events, right? So Vince, some of you know Vince. Some of you, I'm sure, have met Vince. Awesome dude out of California. He came to me, and he asked me, Ray, what can I do with my authority position? What can I do with my blog? 2 phone calls. His blog went from 6 figures to 7 figures. And those of you who know Vince, feel free to ask him. I'm not making this up. Now, full disclaimer here. Vince has been internet marketing for a long time. So this is not a fair testimonial for the brand new person. I am not saying, it wouldn't be okay for me to say that you're going to have $1 million blog in no time, right? Wouldn't be okay for me to say that. But I'm showing you an example that sometimes it's just a couple tweaks. Here's one. Here's my buddy Jeff. Now, this is a unique situation because he's a small business owner. He's not even an internet marketer. He can't even spell affiliate marketing. But Jeff, he sells generators. So he's a tried and true local business that goes to local residents here in my area in Southwest Florida, and he sells power generators. So if your electricity goes off, you plug in one of Jeff's trusty deals and you start it up. It's, I think they're ran by gas, and it powers the house, right? So in a hurricane, he's a great guy to know, okay? He followed my system that I'm going to share with you here in a second. He followed it to a T. His revenue increased by over $400,000 1 year. Here's my buddy Terry. Terry, now this guy is absolutely amazing. He actually, he was going through some rough times. He was working at $35,000. He was at a job making $35,000 a year. He actually used the last of his savings to get my training. He quit that job, making $35,000 a year. He has since had $10,000 days. Days. Now just think about that. Put that into perspective. Whatever you make per year, and I'm willing to bet some of you make more than $35,000, some of you maybe a little less, right? Imagine making what you make in a quarter on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a third. Imagine that, okay? Now here's my favorite, because this applies to every single person on this webinar. I assure you, you either have more results than Matthew did, or you have a better story than Matthew, right? Or you're in a better position than Matthew. That's my guarantee. When I met Matthew, he was pasting his MLM link in Facebook groups, not making a dime. Now I'm just curious, does anyone know someone like that? Anyone know anyone? All they do is they just simply, they paste their MLM link in Facebook groups and they hope for the best. Boy, I sure hope someone random clicks this and buys something. Boy, wouldn't that be awesome, right? That's what he was doing, not making a dime. And it totally makes sense. Why? Because he wasn't creating any value. It's against the law of money. You can't make money without providing some kind of value and on a consistent basis. Now you could argue, well, what about the lottery? Well, okay, you can get lucky, but consistent money over time, that's not luck. That's by design. Matthew had never blogged in his life. He was making nothing. He went through my course, and last year, his kitchen redesign blog, nothing to do with network marketing, made over $700,000. Matthew Hamill, this guy is unbelievable. A very, very ordinary person that went on to do something extraordinary. It's awesome. Now, you may be wondering, well, this is great, Ray. These are really good stories to sit by the fireside with, but what about me? How can I get serious results? Well, I'm going to show you. I put together this course, and quite frankly, we did this course because we know not everyone can afford our coaching. That's the bottom line. That's period. Now, we have people that have paid us $15, $50. We've had people pay us over $100,000. Not everyone can afford that. And what did I say in the very beginning? Did I want to impact more people or fewer people? More people. So I took the time and meticulously created this step-by-step course. I literally put everything I know about blogging, branding, becoming an authority, and just crushing any marketplace. You could use this course to crush it as an affiliate marketer, as a realtor, as a air conditioning company, which one of our clients is, okay? You literally could use this course to crush any marketplace that you want, any. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to go into the details, then we'll go to Q&A. So if you'd like to follow along, because there's some graphical nature here, follow along at mobe.com/Ray. mobe.com/Ray. You'll see, the verbiage on there. You'll see my handsome mug on there, right? mobe.com/Ray. And some of you may want to test it out, make sure that site is working. I believe it is, but mobe.com/Ray. Make sure it's working in your browser, mobe.com/Ray, and you can follow along, okay? The 3-Minute Expert is the most complete product we've ever created, the most complete system on the market on gaining authority and credibility. It teaches you branding and how to build an audience online. So what if? What if people were reaching out to you every day to interview you? I don't know how many of you listen to podcasts, but I've actually had the pleasure of being interviewed on the most popular podcast in business in all of iTunes, Entrepreneur on Fire, twice. I am one of 27 people on this planet that's ever been interviewed twice by Entrepreneur on Fire, John Lee Dumas. And this guy has interviewed presidents. He's interviewed Malcolm Gladwell, Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, he's interviewed like the best of the best of the best. It's crazy. And then there's little old me, twice. Why? Why would that happen? Because I created and set myself up as an authority. And here's the crazy part. You can too. What if leads wanted to talk to you? What if people asked you to speak to their teams or at their events? Here's what I'm going to guarantee. Some of you on this webinar right now, those of you who decide to take action, I guarantee you that some of you will be speaking on the next stage at the next MOBE event. I'm just letting you know. And it won't be because you bribe somebody or you're good buddies with Steven or Matt or whoever else, right? It'll be because you created so much damn results that they want you on stage to share what the hell you're doing. I guarantee you, some of you on this webinar will be on stage at the next event. I'm just letting you know. Now, I don't make any decisions. I can't tell anybody who could be on the stage. I mean, that's just the deal, right? But I'm telling you, when you create results, it reminds me of a Steve Martin quote. You ready for an epic quote? Who loves epic quotes? I love epic quotes. Here's an epic quote for you. Be so good they can't ignore you. Be so good they can't ignore you. That's what we teach you to do. So the 3-Minute Expert. Right now you can get the entire system. I actually have over $5,000 worth of bonuses, and I'll share with you what you get. So you get step-by-step how to become a credible authority in your marketplace. Branding, how to create content that separates you from your competition. You will never again have to beg someone to look at your website or your opportunity or anything like that. It covers every step to branding yourself big, everything I know about blogging and branding. Now, I just want to let you know, okay, full disclosure here. We sell this on our website daily for $497. Just this, okay, just 3-Minute Expert, okay, $497. Keep that in mind. 3-Minute Expert. You're learning my authority multiplier, how to get more leverage out of your content. The instant fame formula has nothing to do with your resume, everything to do with how you serve your prospects and your leads. The lifelong lead machine. We now generate 3,000 to 4,000 leads every single month, and you know what? The majority of those leads actually come in for free. Now, this works with paid advertising, but a lot of our leads come in through free traffic that I teach you inside the 3-Minute Expert. The Idea Factory method. Here's a guarantee that I make. I've made this guarantee. We've sold over 3,000 units of the 3-Minute Expert. Okay? Here's a guarantee. You go through this course. You decide to get this course. You will never again, for the rest of your breathing days, run out of things to talk about on your site. Ever. How do I know that? You know why I know that? We've been blogging 5 to 7 times a week, every week for 6 years. We teach you exactly where we get our ideas, and they are never ending, and they never will be. the organic traffic tsunami. You actually get to watch over my shoulder as I share with you every single website I use, every app that we use, every plugin that we use, every single step that we use to get a lot of traffic and a lot of leads. The Blog Monetization Maximizer. Blogs are great if you're making money. A lot of bloggers don't make any money. We teach you how to make money through your blog in a very, very simple way. The audience mind reading trick. You're going to have people reach out to you and say, oh my God, your blog today, it was like you're reading my mind. You're going to have people say that. We have it every day. The Magic PS technique, another very, very clever way to make more money. The 7-Figure Blog Blueprint, where I share with you how we started from scratch to how we made our first $1 million and how you can too. If you like bonuses, we got over $5,000 worth. So you get all of my bonuses, the entire system, for one low price. Here's what you get. You get the core system, a 3-minute expert. You get 30 sample blog titles. Now, these are some of the best copywriting headlines you have ever seen in your life. They work for any niche, and they're plug and play. So I actually made these so that you can use them for anything. You can use them for kitchen redesign. You can use them for real estate. You can use them for affiliate marketing. You can use them for traffic. You can use them for anything. They're plug and play. They have little, spaces where you can plug in the words of your marketplace. You get how to create great images. If you've ever seen people on Facebook just kill it, and they got all these clever images, well, how do they do those? We show you how to do them in a very simple manner. You get a professional blog review. Now, this is my personal time, but before I commit to that, you must go through the core system and the bonuses before you ask me to look at your blog. This is real. This is real. This is me. This is my time. People have paid me over $1,000 just to look at their site. Okay. This is a professional blog review done by me, but you must go through the course and the bonuses first. Why? Because I teach you how to set up your site. And in fact, we even include 10 recorded blog reviews so you see exactly what we look at for maximum leads and maximum sales. You get my video marketing formula. We do suggest doing videos. They're not absolutely necessary, but boy do they help, and we teach you how to do them very, very simply. How to create your own capture pages. Now, some of you, maybe you have capture pages, and you may not need that necessarily, but we do teach you how to do it in a very simple manner. You get my ILT workshop recordings. Folks, this is 2 days. This is a 2-day workshop that I did just a few months ago, all about marketing and lead generation, that people came from all over the world. They paid $1,500 to attend this workshop. They came from Serbia, they came from Poland, they came from Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, UK, Saskatchewan, Canada, Toronto, Canada. We had one person from Hawaii. I mean, we had people from all over the world. You get those recordings as an absolute bonus. Full transcripts of each module, because I know some people like to read versus watch videos. You get 6 recorded Q&A sessions, my 6 keys to consistency, and I have an advertising agency that we pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month that, quite frankly, not everyone can afford. Let's be honest, right? I had them do a full-blown mini course on how they make money through ads, and you actually get that. That right there is worth the entire course, the entire cost alone. Now, total value, over $5,000 worth of value. But let me ask you this question. If someone came to you and said, I can make you an authority in your marketplace, and they guaranteed it, would it be worth $5,000? I'm just letting you know. When I started out, if someone came to me and said, Ray, why don't you skip all this nonsense, all this hard work that you're doing, and let's just set you up as an authority. It'll be $5,000. I'd say, holy crap, that's a bargain. If all of a sudden people started reaching out to you, wanting to work with you, wanting to be your teammate or your client or your student or a buyer of whatever it is that you have, would that be worth $5,000? There's no question, guys. Hopefully you get that. Hopefully you get it, that it is absolutely worth $5,000. The cool thing is, your investment isn't $5,000. It's not even $2,000. It's not even $997. Hell, it's not even $497. You can get every single thing that I talked about here tonight for $297. Less than $300. You're getting every single thing I know about blogging, about branding, over $5,000 worth of bonuses, professional blog review, every single thing that I've talked about here tonight mob.com/Ray 297. Before we get to the Q&A, because this is just crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. Everything that you're getting tonight, $297, less than $300. Some people may spend that on a fancy dinner. $297 to completely change your life and your business. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it. In fact, I would encourage you, don't even pay attention to me, all right? Don't even listen to what I'm saying. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see what other people are saying, okay? Guys, we have over 30 pages of testimonials. These aren't paid testimonials. These are people reaching out. So let's just read just a couple. We don't have time. We literally don't have time to go through all the testimonials because we'll be here for another 4 hours, okay? But look at this. Barb, I love how he's created bite-sized instructional videos, making it so easy to find just what you need. Steve, this is hands down the most value in one course that I have ever purchased. Jeff McGarry, Ray's 3-Minute Expert teaches you step-by-step how to speak exactly to your target market and have them become raving fans and customers. Well, Ray, what if you don't know your target market? We got a video for that. Well, Ray, what if you don't know where to get traffic? We got a video for that. Well, Ray, what if you're a perfectionist? We got a video for that. Well, Ray, what if you struggle with consistency? We got a video for that. We literally have a video for every single thing that you've ever struggled with when it comes to marketing. Here's my friend Laura. Your new the modules are broken down into specific areas and way more info than I've ever seen in a course. And on top of that, the bonuses. The 3-Minute Expert is a total must-have. Christy, I've taken courses. She saw a course that was $1,200, and we cover that in one module. Okay. Here's my buddy Ron. This is a step-by-step course, not like any other course that I've looked at that just touches the surface. It's in-depth and down to earth. Let's see, Beth. I mean, again, we don't have time for all these. We don't have time. Here's my buddy Mike Hobbs, very successful internet marketer. He says, I thought I was pretty decent at coming up with blog content. Then I watched Module 11 on creating content, and wow, I'm blown away at the value you had in just that one module, worth the price of the whole course alone. Again, we don't have time for all these, okay? But David says, hands down, the best course I've gone through on blogging, the best course for anyone who desires to become an expert in any marketplace, okay? Here's Jeremy. The 3-Minute Expert is hands down the one course anyone looking to become an authority in your niche should have. Here's Jackie Elmer. Now, this person's a celebrity, actually. She's very, very well known in her marketplace. But you know, she goes on and on. Michelle Pesco-Salido. Now, this is a fellow MOB member here. She's very, I think you guys, some of you may know her, very, very smart person, very skilled in her area of expertise, just unbelievable. Here's Martina. Now, the cool thing about her is she says in 7 days, she didn't have a blog. In 7 days, I created my first blog ever. I followed the steps you taught us, and I've gotten 3 signups in her first day, and after the 3rd post, I've got 2 direct responses of more leads coming in. Pretty awesome. Here's Tabias. The 3-Minute Expert was the first course I purchased. I've been working online to brand myself, and he goes on and on and on. He says, thank you for this course. It's exactly what I needed to help me in my goal of becoming a top earner in my company. Kathleen, 7-figure earner. Her team has grown by over 20,000 people in the last 6 months. Tanya, we helped her with her product launch. She did over $250,000 with a product launch, her very first launch ever. One of the questions that we get before we get to Q&A is, will this work for blank? Will it work for juice? Will it work for weight loss, nutrition, credit card payback programs, reward programs, financial services, affiliate marketing, coaching, real estate, local business travel? Basically, this will work for any niche where customers or potential customers use the internet to do research, to look things up, to purchase anything, or to do any kind of background information, okay? Any niche, which is almost all of them. There's not too many. Any of them, you can use a 3-Minute Expert for. And, you know, I'm just so grateful, deeply grateful for you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on here and being so awesome. I hope you got value from this. If you want to become an authority, I highly suggest you get the 3-Minute Expert. And right before we get to Q&A, just a couple more here. My favorite module is the one on consistency. That module alone is worth the price of the course. If you're a blogger or even considering blogging, you need to get this course. I've spent thousands, Tammy, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on past courses. The 3-Minute Expert is by far the leader, providing the most value-based content for the money. My man Sean, I wanted to provide value like you and generate leads and grow my business, but I absolutely had no idea how to. I wasn't a big tech guy. I knew I had to invest in a course to learn, and he says every question I had was answered. I love this one. Steve, he's been in affiliate and internet marketing for 10 years, network marketing 4 years, and this is the single best training he has ever purchased. Just awesome. So there you go. If this is something that you feel is going to help you in your business, if you just, if you listen to your gut, if you listen to yourself and say, okay, is this going to help me? Has he helped other people? Do people enjoy the course? I've shown you a million testimonials. I've shared with you some good value. Now, there are going to be some on here that don't get the course. I get it, all right? I get it. I hope you got value from it. Whether you decide to take action and get the course tonight or you don't, I hope you got value from this webinar. I'm more than happy to answer a few, questions. I got fired up and excited, and I went a little bit longer than I originally planned, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. So let's see. All right. So Alicia is asking, what was step number 2? Step number 2 was immerse yourself. Immerse yourself. Okay. So it is you start to dig deeper as a student and learn more, okay? Learn more so that you can teach more, okay? Ruth, I guess, is having some issues. Feel free if Ruth, maybe reach out to support there.
All right.
All right. Let's see here. I'm new at internet marketing. That's what we assume. Now, here, I'm just going to give you a heads up. If you're a guru of internet marketing and technology, there are going to be some videos in the course that you need to skip because we assume that you can barely operate a pair of scissors, all right? We assume that you don't know anything. I mean, we're like, if you get confused when someone says left click something, okay, then we built it for you, all right? So we assume that you don't know how to operate a microwave oven, that you can't pop popcorn, that you don't know anything about operating a calculator even. So if you're brand new to technology and internet marketing, then this course is absolutely going to help you. If you're a guru, if you're super smart and you got A's in your computer programming class in high school, then there's going to be some videos that you skip, but there's still some great meat in the details and the nitty-gritty of how to get traffic, how to generate leads, how to make money. Okay, so just a heads up. All right. Let's see. We got lots of questions coming on. So this will help me with generating leads without a coach. It assumes you can't afford a coach. Now, does that mean I'm telling you, not to ever hire a coach? Guys, we hire lots of coaches, okay? Because we want to constantly step up our game. But I'm just letting you know, we assume you can't afford a coach, and the course teaches you how to generate leads, whether you got a coach or not. Okay. All right. Okay. So.
Ray,
was it Steven?
Yeah, how long is
What's that?
how long will the offer be up for the $297? Because I know you sell it for $497 on your site.
I mean, Matt came on here, and he came and he asked me to put this up. So I told him that we would hold this up. So typically when we do this for a friend, someone that we're associated with, it's usually for the next few days. It's usually it's for 48 hours. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a hard line. But let's say the next 3 days for sure. So we do have a couple people saying that they're trying to buy it, but they're getting
those orders went through. It looks like the thank you page might.
Oh, okay.
But if you're getting a thank you page that's not showing up, guys, the order did go through. It's just an issue.
Okay, cool. Great. Okay, so Jan is asking, does it show you how to set up a squeeze page? Actually, that is one of our bonuses. We actually do show you exactly screen by screen. And let me give you full disclosure. Okay, any video that is on technology, okay, it's not actually done by me. Okay, it's my business manager. My business manager, Thomas. You see, guys, I don't know how to set up a squeeze page. I don't know how to set up a blog. I don't know how to install a plugin, but my business manager does. So when it comes to creating content, I am very, very good at teaching that, at teaching daily routine, at teaching mindset. I'm not good at walking you step by step through something technically because I don't know how to do that stuff. But my business manager does, and he created the technical videos in the back. So you will absolutely appreciate that, and you will definitely love it because he is very thorough. I mean, he really digs you, takes you step by step by step by step. Okay. What about PPC? So maybe you missed this part in the presentation, but we have a advertising company that we spend a lot of money with. I mean, just to have them as, you know, just to be a client of theirs. Okay, just to be a client, just to give you a heads up on how good they are. Just to be a client, you have to pay $7,000 a month, and that includes 0 ad spend. That's how good they are. They've ran the ads for people like Brian Tracy. They've ran the ads for people like Jeff Walker. Some of you may have heard of these guys. Okay, so I actually twisted their arm and had them create an entire course. There's an entire course on pay-per-click inside the 3-Minute Expert as a bonus. Now we could, I'm telling you what, I'm just going to give you a little secret, all right? Probably in the next few months, we're going to pull that bonus out and sell it separately for $297. I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. And you know what? People will literally lose their mind because it's that good. That's a bonus inside the 3-Minute Expert. So do you learn PPC? You only learn it from one of the best in the world. Okay, just so you know. How did I succeed without tech knowledge? I just got around people. I got around people. It didn't happen at first. When I first started, I would sit there for frickin' hours, banging my head against the keyboard, trying to, you know, what HTML tag was it? And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And, you know, first I had a buddy that helped me out, and he did some technical work for me, and that really helped me out. It got me moving in the right direction, and eventually I was profitable enough to hire it out. Now I'll tell you another thing about 3-Minute Expert is we do teach you how to set everything else up yourself, and we assume you don't have the money to hire anyone, but we also do show you where to outsource. We do, because some of you, you're like, wait a minute, I can hire someone for $8 an hour that'll do this for me. Will I go do anything else? Will I go watch Netflix and they do it for $8 an hour? We actually do show you that. But even if you can't afford the $8 an hour, we actually do show you how to do it step by step. So there you go. Does it include tips on SEO? Absolutely. The majority, now I'll tell you something, I probably should have said this earlier. We actually built our blog to $1 million a year before we did our ads. We actually weren't even doing ads, and we were at $1 million a year. Now, I don't recommend that. Now, you might, oh, okay, so he's a free guy. You know, no. I actually don't recommend it because we would have hit much bigger numbers had we been doing advertising. So I do like advertising, but we hit $1 million a year, free, no ads. So you get to, not only do I teach you tips, I wouldn't call them tips. I give you the guidebook to SEO. I tell you exactly how to rank in the search engines. I show you how we rank for over 100 keywords in our little niche. And we're in a very competitive niche, okay? Now, if you're not in a competitive niche, you're going to dominate. You're going to almost overnight become the authority. So we absolutely teach you, there's nothing I know about SEO that isn't in that course, okay? Just letting you know. Okay, so yeah, you know, some of you got some questions, support questions. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so Jennifer's asking, blogging is written content, not videos. You know what? That depends. We have some clients that only do videos. We have some clients that only do text. We do talk about and we have, you know, people like me that do both. I do some text, and I usually have a video in there, but not always. So this week, you know, today's Thursday. I think I've blogged 3 times so far. Monday was all text. Tuesday was all text, and yesterday I did a video. I did have a video in there, I think, or maybe I did a video on Monday. I forget. But anyway, so a lot of mine have a video in it, not all of them. But I show you that it's more important about you being consistent than it is text or video. Okay? and we do cover that deeply. Okay. Awesome. Tanya is excited to start. Way to go. Awesome. If you haven't got a circle of friends, where do you find a circle to help with those things you don't know how to do? The course teaches you that. The course teaches you where to find people. That's actually one of the videos. You don't have to have a circle of friends. I happen to have a guy that wanted to help me out. Okay. Let's see. Lots of questions coming in. Awesome. Do you get faster results than from solo ads once you start implementing? Well, I'll be honest, guys. I've never actually done solo ads, so I can't speak as an authority on solo ads. I've never done them, so I can't really help you there. Not sure, my friend. Okay. Yeah, you go to mob.com/Ray. I love this question. I really do. Would I need anything else like hosting or any other expense? And I'll tell you a quick story. So I have a friend, Zarko, who is a very smart businessman, and he's starting a pizza restaurant out in Vegas. And he's budgeting everything, and he's putting in a brick oven, right, to make the best pizza. And he argues it'll be the best pizza in all of Las Vegas. And I just asked him, just for kicks, I'm like, Zarko, what's the cost? Like, what is all this costing you? He's like, oh, Ray, you don't want to know. And I'm like, well, what's the cost? He goes, well, put it this way. The brick oven is $80,000. Just a brick oven. Now, I think there's other things like tables, like signage, like advertising, like employees, like maybe a chef, maybe ingredients, maybe a freezer, maybe a refrigerator. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it ends up costing them $400,000. But here's what's great about internet marketing. People, they're looking for the how do I eliminate all expenses? Okay. Let me just tell you, this is low cost. It's not no cost. You are not, here's how you know if you're a marketer or you're not. If you do not have an autoresponder, you're not a marketer. I'm just letting you know, okay? Now maybe you have something that has autoresponding features in it, then okay, that'll pass, okay? You're good. If you don't have your own domain, you're not a marketer, okay? You're at the stage that we call a want-trepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, you're just not yet, okay? So do you need hosting? Yeah, you do. You need hosting. You need an autoresponder if you don't have it as part of a system, okay? You need your own domain. You need those things. So those things calculated all together might be $20 a month. If you're trying to start a business and $20 a month scares you, you're not actually looking for a business, you're looking for a lotto ticket. Just letting you know, just keeping it real with you. And I know that this will piss some off, but am I going to sit here and blow, smoke up your skirt, or am I going to tell you how it is? Okay, I'm going to tell you how it is. It might add $20 a month to you, and if that scares you, then let's stick to a job. And that's no disrespect. That is not. There's nothing. There are many honorable jobs. Okay. There are many people that love their jobs. They're called cops. They're called teachers. They're there's a lot of honorable jobs. People that work in nurses, hospitals, whatever, right? If you're looking for no cost, like I don't want to spend a dime, then we need to stay in a job. There is no cost any business out there, none. Now, if you go to McDonald's, that's going to run you $1.1 million, and it's going to cost you $100,000 to attend Hamburger University. That's not a joke. That's real. If you want to go get a 7-Eleven, which is a gas station, that's going to cost you $1.2 million. Okay? If you want to go get a Domino's pizza, that could cost you as little as $50,000. You could actually get it for cheap, depending if you're getting it from a previous owner, but you ain't getting it for less than $50,000, I assure you. And you'll probably creep up closer to $250,000. $50,000, $250,000. Here's the kicker with that. Here's the really sad thing. People buy those things all the time, and they don't even make their money back in 5 years. In 5 years. So do you have other expenses? Yeah, you do. They're low cost. They're not no cost. Anyone find that helpful? Anyone, me going on that little rant and telling you the reality of being an entrepreneur, is that helpful? I mean, I'm hoping, I'm not looking to get everyone to buy the course. I'm looking to keep it real with you. All right? Cool. Great. Good. Cool. Awesome. Awesome, Claudia. Well, I'm actually glad, so I'm not mad at you, Claudia, but I am glad I misunderstood you because I think it was a good rant. I think people got benefit from it. So good. Awesome. Well, guys, I know I've gone a little bit over my time here. I hope you got value from this, whether you decide to get the course and rock and roll or not. I hope you got value from this. I deeply, deeply appreciate it, and I'm so very grateful to the Move community. You guys are rock stars. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for having me on here. Very humbled, very grateful for what Matt has put together and his entire team. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me on. I hope you enjoy the course, those of you who decide to get it, and thank you so much.
Hey, Ray, thanks so much for your time, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, everyone. Have an amazing night.
No problem. Talk soon. Thank you, guys.